This is the 2026 Honda CR-V, but you probably already know that because the CR-V is an incredibly popular, incredibly well-selling vehicle. Over 400,000 of them sold in 2024, making this Honda's best-selling vehicle all the way back going to 2017. Now, what's new for 2026? Well, this is still the same generation that debuted in 2023, but now we have a new TrailSport trim. Yes, the CR-V is getting a little more rugged and a little more off-road ready. Before we get in any deeper, don't forget to subscribe to the CarGurus YouTube channel, and if you already know you're ready to start shopping, well, these are on sale now, so you can head to cargurus.com and search in your local market. In my opinion, for whatever that's worth, I think this is the best looking compact crossover in a crowded market. I mean, we are talking about the Toyota RAV4, the Ford Bronco Sport, the Hyundai Tucson. Literally everyone in the market makes a compact crossover. I don't think anybody makes one that looks better than this. And the TrailSport, it looks better than the rest. We have an updated front fascia. We have the orange TrailSport badge, this silver skid plate style element down below. Heading down the sides, we have these shark gray wheels. I think these look really good. They're gonna get super dusty and probably dinged up if you actually take it off-road, but I think they look great here. All-terrain tires, that's probably the big performance upgrade that the TrailSport trim gets. We also have blacked out door handles on the TrailSport, and all of the hybrid models now have this black window surround. You might be noticing the paint color. This is called Ash Green Pearl. I love it. I love a green car. It is exclusive to the TrailSport trim. The other colors, pretty much what you'd expect. There's a red, there's a blue, and then there's a black, a gray, a silver, a gray again, a white. There's 8 in total. Let us know in the comments section below how you feel about this, or if you would pick a different color. Honda sells the CR-V in 7 different trim levels and with 2 different engine options. You can also get it with front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, but the engines are locked in to specific trims. So if you get an LX, an EX, or an EXL, those are the 3 lower level trims, you have to get the gas engine. And likewise, if you get a Sport L, a TrailSport like this one, or the top level Sport Touring, basically anything with Sport in the name, you have to get the hybrid. They don't sell those options with just the gas engine. That's kind of interesting. Automakers outside of Honda aren't really doing it that way. Now, on the inside, the CR-V isn't flashy, but it's so functional. This TrailSport trim is equipped with cloth seats, but they have the orange contrast stitching. That is a hallmark of TrailSport vehicles in the Honda lineup. We also have TrailSport embroidered in orange, I think. Yes, it's orange on the headrests up here. And every TrailSport is also coming standard with all-weather floor mats for the rear as well as the front. Now, regardless of whether you get a TrailSport trim or another trim, you're gonna be greeted by pretty good legroom, really good headroom. I'm just under 6 feet tall. I have plenty of headroom. This is actually pushed back a little further than I would normally have it, and I still have good legroom, and there's this nice map pocket here. I like that this center console that folds down, we've got the cup holders, but also it doesn't flop down on the seat below. It feels like there's some build quality here. In the back, 39.3 cubic feet of cargo space, which is good. Fold down the seat, that expands to 76.5 cubic feet, also pretty good. I wish I had a rear window shade, particularly because like just feeling this window, it's very hot today and like it would be nice, but every trim above the LX gets a sunroof, nice, heated seats, nice, don't need them right now, but also gets dual zone climate control. So I have air vents back here. That's pretty helpful to have, especially on a hot day like today. All told though, the rear seat of the CR-V, the 2026 CR-V, is what you expect from a vehicle of this class and this size in today's market. It's comfortable, it's spacious, we've got good cargo space, and we have enough amenities in this vehicle to keep everyone happy. Up front, it's a little more of the same with the CR-V. So nothing in here is really gonna wow you. There's not a whole lot of like flash, but it's well thought out, well laid out, well constructed. Starting over on the driver's side door, there's a lot of plastic in a vehicle like this. That's just kind of what you have to expect. But this top trim piece, it's got a little squish to it. The plastic piece that's above the actual door handle has a nice little texture. It's the little things. And then we do have this leather wrapped armrest. We've got a cubby down here, big enough for a water bottle. We have this big space between the front seats, which has a standard wireless charging pad, but also has enough room to the right of that charging pad for another full-size phone, 2 USB-C ports. The physical climate controls are terrific. We've got 3 knobs here with this nice knurled finish, and then above them, this honeycomb dash design that Honda's implemented in a number of their vehicles, the Civic, the Accord. We have it here in the CR-V. I think it looks so good. Like, kudos to whoever thought that up. It's really, really nice. This center console bin is actually surprisingly deep, surprisingly big, and the cup holders, while compact, are definitely big enough to handle your 40-ounce Stanley. Now, again, not everything looks or feels super, super fancy, but overall, it is really well organized. The steering wheel is familiar. I'm not having to relearn anything here. We have a nice heated steering wheel button on this TrailSport trim. I just really like kind of how everything falls to hand. Everything is really logically just laid out in the car. It's like you know what you're doing when you sit into a CR-V. It would make it a great rental car or a great car to own. Let's talk powertrains. So the 2026 Honda CR-V's base engine is a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that should sound pretty familiar if you're shopping for Hondas because they use it in a lot of different applications. Here it makes 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a CVT. But most Honda CR-V shoppers are not buying the gas model anymore. No, they're buying the hybrid, which has a 2-liter Atkinson cycle engine mated to 2 electric motors. It makes 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque in total. Now, the 2 electric motor setup is kind of interesting. It's pretty unique. It's unique to Honda, as far as I know. It doesn't use a traditional transmission. Instead, they rely on a powerful traction motor, which gets the car going under acceleration. And then as you get up to speed, or say like you're cruising on the highway, that gas engine does kick in. But then as you decelerate again, start to bring things down into the range of that traction motor, it comes back to life and handles your deceleration. So it's all told a pretty good powertrain system, and I'll note that we've actually finally gotten into some nice twisty driving here, and the steering, it's a Honda. It steers like a Honda. It's really nice and tight. There's no play. It's very direct, very accurate, very predictable. Likewise, the pedal feel, it matches the car very, very well. That accelerator, it's not super powerful, but there's no like lag to it. You step on the accelerator, you start to feel it spool up and really give you that power. And the brakes, again, linear, very predictable. I like driving this car quite a bit. All right, let's talk fuel economy. If you are buying a gas engine, non-hybrid CR-V, you're gonna look at 30 mpg in combined driving with the front-wheel drive models and 29 with the all-wheel drive models. But as I noted, the majority of CR-V shoppers actually buy one with a hybrid powertrain. And there's a good reason for that, and it's fuel economy, because this car can get up to 40 mpg in combined driving with front wheel drive. It drops to 37 with all-wheel drive, and the TrailSport, which has those all-terrain tires, that only does 35 mpg in combined driving. Now, on those tires, all-terrain tires are just noisier than all-season tires. That's just how it works. They're knobbier, grippier, that stuff, that friction makes noise. But I'm noticing as we drive along at 64 miles per hour on this concrete highway that not only do we have a fair bit of road noise coming from the tires, but I feel like there's a lot more wind noise in the CR-V than there is in, say, a Nissan Rogue. Now, I'm not saying the Nissan Rogue is a better car overall, but I do think it's a bit quieter. New for 2026, the Sport Touring, actually, sorry, just a moment, I'm gonna have to throw these back on. Okay, new for 2026, the Sport Touring trim has an individual drive mode that allows you to customize your steering feel, throttle response, engine noise, I imagine that's piped in, even the gauge display. So that's pretty cool. It is limited just to the Sport Touring. Every CR-V though gets normal, econ, and a snow mode, which is nice. And then if you get a hybrid, you get an additional sport mode. Now, in terms of the traction management system for that all-wheel drive, it's actually also been enhanced for 2026. It can now send 50% of the torque to the rear axle. It used to be a 60 front, 40 rear split. So that's kind of a nice little upgrade for 2026. And in terms of towing capacity, not really a tow vehicle. The standard CR-V, the gas engine, it's only going to pull 1,000 pounds. That gets bumped up to 1,500 pounds with the hybrid, but still don't expect to, pull your horses across country in a CR-V. Do you have horses? The tech situation in the CR-V is kind of interesting. At least to me, it's interesting. Now, some of the details, the basics, right? Every CR-V now has a 9-inch touchscreen display instead of the previous 7-inch display that came on those lower trims. The higher trims now also get a 10.2-inch digital driver information cluster. That's what we have here. Looks really good, if a bit basic. There's nothing overly flashy in there. The base audio system in the CR-V is this dinky little 4-speaker system that I can't imagine is that impressive, but you can get a 12-speaker Bose premium system in the Sport Touring trim. A little annoying that Bose system is limited to the very top trim. I would have liked to see, the name brand premium audio, maybe on like TrailSport and above. Give us some options there. Now, as for the tech itself, wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay are included on every CR-V, as is a wireless charging pad. We are currently plugged in here, but you are going to get those features as standard equipment. The thing that really interests me, though, is that this whole touchscreen display, and admittedly 9 inches in today's market doesn't actually feel that impressive, but here it looks good. It kind of fits the space nicely. There's only 2 physical buttons above the volume knob, the power and volume knob here. Everything else is on the screen, but there's not that much. It's like the half of the screen we have for our audio. Right now we've got a little Dead & Company playing off of my phone on Android Auto, but then we've just got 2 buttons for CarPlay or Android Auto. We've got the phone connection icon there. We have a general settings button that's mostly for like display, sound settings, device connections. Everything else is almost like we expect you to use your phone. So here's a physical button for the home. Here's a physical button for your device connection, for your Android Auto projection or your Apple CarPlay. So they know most shoppers just rely on their phone for that stuff. And instead of trying to push a lot of kind of Honda developed tech, they just make it easy to use your own device. It's like a bring your own device plan. I actually find it really refreshing and very easy to use. At least that's the case on the majority of CR-Vs. The Sport Touring trim, again, is a little different. That one has Google built in. It's a 3-year trial plan, after which it will incur a cost. But Google built in will have more icons on the screen for sure, because you have things like Google Maps, like Google Store, Google Assistant. Those are built into the software. So I find those to be really helpful, but this is kind of designed so that you don't need that stuff anyways. Like, you have it on your phone, and I love that there's a physical button to get to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. That's just so refreshing. It's so nice. Just home, Android Auto, home, Android Auto. That's what I really want. That's all I want. in addition to the brand's sterling reputation for reliability, Honda is also starting to develop a pretty strong reputation for safety equipment. Now, Honda Sensing is the umbrella bucket for all of their advanced driver assistance systems, and they're standard across the board with one little exception. The blind spot monitoring, I noticed, is only available above the base trim. Everything else, pretty much what you would expect, you know, forward collision warning, lane keeping assist, etc. Two things I really liked seeing as standard on that suite of systems, though, was traffic sign recognition and traffic jam assist. Two things you don't always see standard across the board. Now, this is a 2026 model. It's brand new. You can shop for them now. Go to CarGurus. You can shop for these now, but they haven't yet been crash tested by the NHTSA nor the IIHS. That said, it's mechanically, physically identical to the 2025 model, and that one did get a top safety pick award from the IIHS, and it received 5 stars in crash tests from NHTSA. The 2026 Honda CR-V is definitely a good car, and Honda seems to know it's a good car because it's not cheap. Let's get into the numbers, the pricing numbers. The base price, $32,315, including the $1,395 destination fee. But a hybrid, that's more than $37,000 to start, and the TrailSport is more than $40,000 to start. And frankly, if you said $40,000 for a CR-V feels a little steep, I'd agree with you. That's a lot of money to pay for what basically amounts to a styling package and some nicer, stickier rubber. If you were to buy, say, a Subaru Forester Wilderness, I'm not sure that's a better car than this. It's a little rougher around the edges. This is a better all-arounder, but it cannot go as far off-road as a Wilderness can. So I pose the question to you. Would you rather have something like the CR-V TrailSport, which has the looks, it drives great, it's got a very efficient hybrid engine, it's a good vehicle? Or do you want something that's a little more capable? What does that TrailSport badge mean to you? Why would you buy it? Let us know in the comments section below. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.